The skies look pretty ominous today, so I'm trying to get this video done quickly before it rains. It rained a lot yesterday, so it'll be interesting to see what's inside the pots. This is all the waste I've got today, and this container here has been on the sink for so long that the fermentation of the contents inside it actually flipped the lid off. So I had to put something heavy on top of it to keep the lid on. And of course it's so heavy it's keeping the plate on the other one. So the big problem I've got today is that I've planted these pink banana jumbo on top. I'm terrified to move them now because they're doing so well, but something's digging up around the pots now and disturbing my little seedlings, and I need to put some more waste into the Compot to keep those animals away. And this one here, I covered it up yesterday, as I did with, and that one there, and the one down there, because it was raining so heavy, I thought the rain was going to wreck my new little seedlings. So we'll have a look at this one today and see what we can do. Normally I would have put a lift pin in these lids to make it easy to get out, but I didn't, so I have to do it now. Get that lid out of the way. There's the hole. I'm not sure if this is locked in. I hope it's not locked. Let's have a look. No, it's not locked. I should be able to just lift it up. Let's see what's going on underneath. Oh, this one hasn't done much at all, but look, it's nice and wet and moist and mushy. That's quite interesting that it hasn't done much over that period of time. I've had the pumpkin on top of it. It's a bit stinky down there too. And you can see it's quite mushy. See that fluid there? Very wet. I might just leave that one, I think. I think it probably has had a little bit too much water and not enough air because of these on top, so I really do need to find somewhere to put those. So let's have a look at the next one. And these are my Cascadia peas, and they need planting out too. And the person that was going to help me with the garden didn't show, so it's a job that has to be done that hasn't yet been done. So I'll put that in there. Look at that, something else is growing. Maybe if I dig a little hole out here, gee, that's dry under that. We had a lot of rain yesterday, and yet that's still incredibly dry underneath all those leaves. Lots of roots in here. Gee, hear that thunder? I don't know what this could be, but let's see if I can just transplant them out there. And maybe we can get them to grow too. So this soil here has been in here for a long time now, and it's really ready to come out. There's one of those chicken things. If you put that out in the sun now, even though there's no sun, that will all dry out and disappear. And there's still some cobs in here that haven't, see those corn cobs? They haven't broken down yet. But look, see how easy that is to crush now. Very easy. And I'm just going to make a pile of this because I haven't got my garden ready to spread it on yet. Take the rubbish out like that. So I'm just going to toss it up here for now. And of course that'll give something for the turkeys to make a mess of, so that's probably not such a good idea, but a bit of rain, I don't have time to think about it. Now, see those few little roots that have come in there? Well, to stop that happening, all you've got to do is twist this around in the soil a bit like that, if you're concerned about it, each time you fill it. But look how beautiful that soil is. It's incredible. There's a wormy. See, they do come into the pots once the soldier flies have all gone. And the bush turkeys will go through this for sure if there are worms in there, because they love worms, and they love those cockies too. I think I'm going to have to try and put them somewhere else so that that soil somewhere else so that it doesn't get dug up by the turkeys. Look at all the little cockies. Don't worry about them, they're part of the decomposition process. Anyway, now I can't fill these pots up too much today. It would be nice if I'd been able to soak that waste, but it hasn't been there long enough. It was only a day old. There's one of those chicken things. That one really stunk. Didn't have room to put it in my pot. Now this waste is really on the nose. So I'm just going to fill this up halfway, because it's not going to get the aeration that it usually gets with, I think I won't put any more in than that, I think. So it's not going to get the aeration that it usually gets when there's nothing on top of it, like this. And I'll put this cover back on top as well. I want to, these ones you see got ruined. Doesn't matter, we can probably take them out actually. Oh no, leave it in there for space, hold everything together. So we'll, oh no, it's going to rain. I'm going to have to rush inside. Well, that was a sudden downpour, and there's still a few spits of rain coming, so I'm not taking any chances. I've set up this old umbrella that I just found under the house. So on with the show. Oh, my watermelon. Now I've lost a couple in the last couple of days. See, they've all this one and that one shriveled up, but these 4 are still hanging on. So let's see what's underneath there. Oh, where's that rain again? I've got a pin in here already. Cocky. Now this is all very wet now because of that rain we've just had. I filled this up, gee, I'll have to go back and check, I can never remember. Underneath that top layer there's a whole bunch of soil. Let me see if I can get that out. I set this pot up just a minute ago and it's not big enough, and that's the contents I took out of the other Compot. So I really need a bigger one, but when they look like this, and they're, you know, decomposed but not perhaps fully decomposed and you need a bit longer, you can put them in a pot like this and then cover them with leaves, plant it somewhere in the garden, and the worms will come up through the holes in the bottom and break it all down further and keep taking it back down into the ground. I need another bigger pot to empty this one, so I'll go and see if I can find one. So I found this one, an old pot in the garden. Not ideal, it's got a hole there, that probably doesn't matter. But the hole in the bottom is here and not in the bottom there. So what I'll have to do is bury it into the ground there. So this isn't ideal, but it was close at hand, so I thought I'll just grab that and get rid of all this other waste and give it somewhere to break down further. we'll move that pot there. So I'm going to empty all of this into here. It's a little bit, oh, that's definitely stodgy down the bottom. Now that's not what I would call perfectly decomposed, but in here it'll be fine. And because it's above ground, not in the ground with all this water at the moment, it will probably break down a little bit quicker. And it'll probably be getting more air this way as well than it currently is with the Compot top on top of it. Now I can cover that with all leaves and bury it somewhere in the garden. Back to the pot, and you can see now it's empty in there. I'll put the rest of this waste in, and again I don't want to fill it up because I've got the propagator on top. And that should generate some heat to keep these guys nice and warm, but they're not going to break down as fast because they haven't got the same level of aeration. But you can't have everything. So I'll cover these up again and protect them from this big storm we've got at the moment. There we go. So here's my little squash that I saved, and it's practically died off, so I don't think it's going to survive because the heat got to it and me not watering it. So it's hard to know what to think. It's sort of hanging in there. It hasn't completely given up the ghost, so we'll just leave it a bit longer and see what we can do to keep that going. I don't think we're going to have much luck with it. And here's the other one I covered up to keep the rain off it because it was just getting too strong. And these are my mammoth melting. Look at this. Look how they've grown. I've got to get a trestle going quickly. It's really long. So the guy that was going to come and help me do the garden was a no-show. So I haven't got a garden yet. Now let's get a pin in here. I think these ones have had it. This compost I've got to go in here is really stinky. I'm going to have to take one of those out. So it's a good idea to put your pin in before you start, so then you can just slip your hand down and lift everything out. Oh, this is looking beautiful. I'll bring this container over to empty some waste into. Now I think that had some leaves on top if I remember correctly. Looking good, but look at this underneath. Yeah, it definitely had some leaves on top. Bit of paper that hasn't broken down yet. I can put that back in. But this is all looking good. And let's have a look under here. No, it's slowed down a little bit underneath as well. Now that's paper, that's why. Paper towel. Lots of paper towel. But we can get rid of that up into here now, because it's something that really the worms can break down. Lots of little roots in there. Something trying to grow here. I know it's not my plants though, but look at that beautiful soil. Oh, there's a wormy. We could all put all that up into this other pot now, and that way then, oh look at the wormy. That way then I'll be able to save the worms and they can continue doing what they're doing in the above ground pot. These are probably roots from that big Chinese elm. Certainly wasn't hard to get out of. Anyway, really simple. Oh, there's a little wormy. So we'll put them in there, and then I'll cover that with something else. So let's see. And this waste has been here a while. It's really pongy. I've got to get it in there. Oh, gee, it's disgusting. I think I'll put that all in there. I'll get a little bit of water. And you know, you don't have to wait as long as I do to empty your waste. It's just that I'm very time poor. So we can put this back on top now. This is really getting built up soil around it. I need to dig it out really and raise it up. Better leave my tags in there in case something else decides to sprout. I won't know what it is. Just till that rain stops, I want to try and save these plants. There we go. Only needed just a catch. Doesn't want to go in. This is as good a place as any to put this big pot plant in. This is quite, look how dry that is underneath there. All that rain. So I want to cover up that hole so the worms can get in and out through there. And I'm going to put some of this on top. There we go. That's all broken down leaves. Now it'll be interesting to see if the ibis or something try and come and dig that up. But I'd rather they get into that than into my pots, so because I'm growing things in them. Cover that hole up, I think we should be good to go. Thanks for watching.